Right, you lot, let's talk Villa. Hello and welcome back to another post-match reaction. We are going to be talking about Aston Villa's 0-0 away draw with Everton, which I watched yesterday on Sky Sports. Without further ado, let's just get into the first bit of the video, which is always the Twitter poll. So I'll start the screen recording in 3, 2, 1. We are live, and here is the post that I put up this morning before I film this video. The poll for today's video is as follows. Given where we are in the league and how we've looked post-Man City, how are you feeling about our 0-0 draw, my fellow AVFC fans? 19 hours left on this, but we've got 34 votes so far. 65% of you are happy with a point from that game. 21% are worried about our form at the moment. Again, post that Man City game, or post Arsenal you could say, but Arsenal was a poor performance. Like in general, I know we won, so I'm still happy, don't get me wrong. And 14% are fed up of not creating. So that's an interesting one for me, and I'll get into my thoughts on the game very shortly when we go through sort of my reaction afterwards. But let's get into some player ratings first of all to see how the boys did perform yesterday. So I'll move out the way again so you can see the weatherman projections here of how we played yesterday. Getting straight into it with Emi Martinez, who was easily my man of the match yesterday purely for these two saves right here.
Can he finish? No! Denied by Ghana!
He gets a straight up 10 out of 10 for me purely for those two saves. Didn't really put a foot wrong the whole game. He was commanding of his area as always. His distribution was good. And you can't say anything bad about him. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. Absolutely, hands down. Moving on to Concert at right back. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. We did keep a clean sheet, which I suppose is a positive. And Concert, again, didn't put a foot wrong. Does he ever put a foot wrong? Literally no. But why is he playing at right back still? That's something that we'll get onto later. Our centre-back partnership, I would give 7 and 7 too. Again, what can you say about them? You know, Carlos did look good and commanding back to his best, and Longley was doing what he can. Do I think they should be our starting centre backs? Probably not. But in terms of this game, didn't do too much wrong, but did get caught out a couple of times on that offside trap again. I know we like to play that high line, and these two just seem to get caught out. Obviously, Emi Martinez with the 10 rating, saving their bacon, going into the second half, just up before the second half of this game. And then Alex Moreno did score the offside goal. Obviously Leon Bailey was offside, not him. It was an absolutely peach of a strike, I have to say. I'd give him a 7 again. He was getting forward as much as he could, and he got so much room. And every so often he'd get forward, and I just thought he had Seamus Coleman on absolute skates. But he just didn't really want to commit to it again. He's been a little bit off it since coming back from injury. Maybe just needs a few more games. But when Digne comes back, I could see him taking that starting spot again. And I just felt like sometimes he was a bit afraid to put crosses in. But obviously did get that goal. It was a good goal, disallowed, which I literally called from the second it went in. I turned around and I was like, that's offside. But nonetheless, a decent-ish game. Kamara and Louise in the middle, I would give 6s to. They couldn't really get into the game, to be fair. They both done their thing. Kamara looked good again. Like I say, even though Kamara generally is like a 6, 7, 8 player every game, he doesn't really drop stinkers. And Louise again, a little bit sloppy at times, I thought, on the ball, got dispossessed a few times. He was put under some bad pressure from passes as well, but nothing really spectacular in the middle of the park from them. McGinn as well, 6, didn't set the world alight this game, I didn't think. Struggled to really get in and create any chances or find that killer pass into the final third. Bailey, I'd give a 7 to. Again, he just looks like such a bright spark for us. Probably had one of our best chances of the game when he forced a good save from Pickford in the first half, but it was on his weaker foot. If he was right-footed, I feel like that goes in. But he was always pushing, but obviously he got subbed off quite early on. Diaby, I'm going to have to give like a 5 to. He's just really, really struggling at the moment to create anything in the Premier League. Lacking that killer instinct, lacking beating a man, lacking finding a killer pass, and really just lacking any sort of creativity. I do feel like he needs a spell on the bench to really kick his bottom into gear. And then Ollie Watkins, 5 again, just struggling, I think, to get anything really going at the moment for him. I don't really blame him as per se. He's not getting the service. Like I say, he has one of the fewest touches in the Premier League this season. But yeah, just really, really struggling. And in terms of the subs, Matty Cash, I'm going to give a 4 to. I don't understand his aversion to crossing the ball. He gets forward, he bombs forward, gets into these good areas, and then he just doesn't want to put a cross in. We literally have players lining up. John Duran, I'll give a 6 to. I actually thought he tried when he came on, which is, good for him as well. And the other subs didn't really make that much of a difference, did they, to be fair? Frustrating game. But Emi Martinez, easily man of the match and best goalkeeper in the world. That double save was insane. So I had my phone on the side just to get a couple of quick stats up to talk about this game. But I'm going to give you my thoughts and my opinions. And yes, there's probably going to be some outrage from the title of this video. But just hear what I have to say before you start commenting, oh, you're just catastrophising, we're still third. I saw someone be like, on Twitter, we don't even deserve to be in third, so we can't get angry about drawing 0-0 to Everton. That's a terrible attitude, in my opinion. If you're third in the Premier League, act like you're third in the Premier League. Don't think, oh, just because we shouldn't have been here at the start of the season, we can accept these results. If we're there, let's play like we're there. We've got there for a reason, and our form has really dipped, and I want to point that out here. We look at our last 5 Premier League games. We won 2-1 against Brentford, where that was a fantastic result, given the fact that we had to get it late. But it was a late goal. But again, I'm not mad at that. We still won. Good. The Sheffield United game at Villa Park, we looked woeful in that game, and again, 97th minute. Zaniolo header when we're just lumping balls into the box. That's not the performance of a team pushing for the Champions League. I don't even want to talk about the United game. We deserve to get beat that game. The first 25 minutes of that game, we look like a team that's challenging for Champions League. From 25 minutes to full time, we look like a team that's going to be finishing mid-table, 14th maybe. The Burnley game, yes, again, we won 3-2, but we had to really pull that out. After they had a man sent off, they equalised. What was going on in that game? I don't even want to talk about it. Again, not a performance that should be warranting top 4. And again, this Everton game, we look stuck for ideas. We don't look creative. Let's bring up the stats here for the Everton game. 16 shots to their 10, 5 on target to their 2, 69% possession. We doubled their passes and more. Pass accuracy, 85 to their 63. 5 corners to their 4. We only caught offside once. But we just never looked like scoring in that game. Moreno's shot, let's be honest, it was a pop shot from the edge of the box. It wasn't a well-worked goal. And, you see what the teams... And yes, I'm going to say the teams around us, because they are the teams around us. Man City with De Bruyne back, they're probably going to go on a 16-game winning streak now. Arsenal have the players that can cut teams open. Liverpool, even without Salah, you back them to go and break down teams like Everton that just sit behind the ball. Tottenham, you look at their game against United. Even United are starting to play a bit better, but now with Timo Werner, they'll have Son back soon. They've got Brennan Johnson, Richarlison, who's on form at the moment. Kulusevski's going to come back. They've strengthened in this transfer window, made some really astute signings with Werner and that centre-back Radu. I think it was the Radu that they signed, Dragstin. You look at the teams around us and you're thinking, the way we're playing like a team that's going to finish anywhere from 10th to 14th in this league. And although Villa fans might be like, we just need to enjoy it, we're still not losing games. That Everton game is a game that we should be winning. Let's look at the table as well. Obviously, we've played 21. The next team around us that's played 21 is Tottenham. We still have a 3-point cushion on them, which again is good. And Manchester United, which we have a 11-point cushion on. But, Arsenal, if they win, they'll leapfrog us because our goal difference isn't as good. You have City, who are joint on point with us. You'd back them to win their game in hand. Like I say, Liverpool 2 points ahead. You'd back them to win that game as well. It's just starting to get a little bit worrying. Even, West Ham, if they win their game, they're only 6 points behind us now. And even they have been looking better than us. So I'm not going to say that we're falling apart. But our form over the last 5 to 6 games has not been good enough to get Champions League. I think that's fair. And I think, I'm not saying that we look terrible or anything. We still don't look like we're, like I say, going to be relegated or anything like that. I'm not going too extreme. But I think we have to demand more of these players. We're third. We need to act like it. We can't just say, and again, every team does go through dips and stuff. But, you look at City, they had a dip of a couple of games. They've bounced right back and they look like title winners already. I mean, they're unstoppable in my opinion. but it's going to just be hard for Villa. We need to regain that now. Our next game, we have 2 weeks off. Our next game's against Newcastle, at home, at Villa Park. That would be a statement win considering their form at the moment. But you just don't feel confident. I don't feel confident going into these games at the moment with how we're playing. Again, Everton, what did they do? They Sean Dyched us, low block, compact in midfield. They just sat behind the ball, and we can't deal with it. That possession stat, what was it, like 68, 69% possession? Most of that was it just being knocked around the back. We have no cutting edge at the moment. We have no creativity. And for me, it's a worry. That performance was a worry, as has our last 5 been. Because I could easily see us dropping down to 7th, 8th, 9th on our current form. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's just my initial reactions to this game. Once game week 21 and 22 are done, I'm going to do a video just saying what the whole game week means for Villa. And we've also got a new signing, which I will be doing a video on very shortly. But I do want to hear your guys' opinion on this. Let me know down below. Are you worried, or do you think that we'll pick it back up? As always, leave a like for more Villa content. Dobby says subscribe, and I say be nice to everyone, and I'll see you soon.